believe they are similar tunings. The third string down, what is normally the D string, is not as high-pitched as it normally is on most of the recordings in this tuning, which I would think when playing the notes of what I consider recently to be the Catholic Church sounding tuning. It appears to be the right tuning. That is on the third and fourth string down, what is supposed to be the D string and the G string. Of course, they're different notes because this is a different tuning, but that would be if they were in standard tuning. So what I notice about this, when I try to play the finger, the finger, I can't even think of the word right now, but the fingering pattern for that I play on both electric and acoustic, with the D string being higher, I always start out with this on the third fret on what is supposed to be the D string, and then I go up to this and I just finger pick that way with all the notes, and these are the only part that I'm using on the fretboard. When I have this string up higher, it seems to sound really good, but when I start out on this string, I'll play it, and you can go back into some of the other recordings on both the electric and the acoustic, that sometimes I play with that pattern and it sounds good. But in this particular tuning, where the Catholic Church sounding notes that I play, those sound the same on both guitars. When I drop the D string on the acoustic, that they sound similar, but when I try to do the finger picking or the finger patterns when I'm on the acoustic, they don't really sound right when I'm starting the frets like I just described. Here, I'll play it. When on the electric, I can seem to just play this open note too, but it sounds like does not sound correct when I'm doing it with these patterns. But if I leave this string out, and I think these two strings, hold on, these two strings right here are the same as these two. Didn't mean to hit that note there, but these two strings are the notes of these two strings. Maybe that might be what's going on between the electric and the acoustic tunings. I'm really not too sure, though. Let's play, though, on the finger pattern part, let's play that on the third and fourth strings down. I don't think that's how it's labeled when guitar people talk about it, but that'll make sense to someone. The third and fourth strings down from the top. The top's obviously going to be the thickest string, because that's where people strum downward. You normally strum downward, so this would be the first string, I would think, but I think it's actually opposite when you're learning guitar. But anyways, let's start on these two strings right here, playing the finger picking part. So I think there's something crazy going on with these two open tunings where I really have no idea what I'm doing, and improving myself to not be the most skilled tuner, even though I know I enjoy what I'm playing, and I think there's some music behind what I'm doing. So here's this finger picking part. that sounds pretty good to me. So I'll play that Catholic tuning thing one more time. I think that's the same on the fourth string down, which would be the G string. I'm not sure what note that actually starts at or what these notes are. Those notes played on the same strings sound the same as the electric, but like I said, that finger picking pattern that I do when I try to do it on the same strings as the electric and the acoustic, they sound different. It sounds pretty similar when I tune the third string down on the acoustic up higher. It definitely sounds, they both sound good played that way, but when this string is tuned, when the third string down is tuned for me to play that thing that I consider to sound like the Catholic Church, I don't know, feel like I was at church and heard those notes. Maybe I'm crazy, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know what I'm mixing up, what the actual difference between the tunings are, if there's even any of the same notes at all, or if I'm just tuning random octaves and chords without any real plot or whatever. I'm just kind of doing nonsense. But when I have the strings inserting tunings, it definitely sounds musical and good to me. I don't know if anybody has any critiques on this. Like I always say, I noticed that I got 12 views on my first video, but then I got 0 views on the one where I change up the third string on the acoustic. And that's big in the explanation. Maybe people are only watching the videos and saying, oh, this is how this person talks or whatever. They're not really watching it, knowing what I'm doing musically exactly. Maybe someone out there thinks I stink at music or whatever, and they're just not commenting. Maybe there are some skilled musicians. I'm not really sure. I don't think everybody really knows music notes perfectly. Even some really good musicians are not always perfect when it comes to knowing certain sides of music, but I'm no expert.